Coming up next, on the spot. XO5 is over, but the wait for the Xbox 360 launch continues. To tide you over, we've got highlights of GameSpot's coverage from Amsterdam, as well as 5 solid demos. Jeff Gerstmann's Breaking Bones and Blitz the League and Eating Souls and Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil. Bob Kaleko joins the dark side in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Jason Ocampo returns with his final take on Black and White 2. And Carrie Gooskos is yelling along with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Objection! We're live and on the spot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to On the Spot as we hear the sonic boom of the Blue Angels in the background.
That's right.
Welcome.
Flying over, big time.
That's crazy. It's a week here.
Sound of freedom.
I'm Rich Gallup, your host, welcoming myself back from my vacation.
How was the vacation?
I was actually in Maryland scouting out the city of Baltimore for our contest last week.
Cool. Did you find any hot spots for them to go check out?
Look out. There's this one highway that goes in the city. I think it's 295 north. It's supposed to be 3 lanes. They drop it down to 1. Traffic for days.
Now that is horror right there.
Total horror.
That's right.
And then you run into some shady spots if you try making up a detour. Don't do that.
Okay, that's the Suffering 3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're doing next time
around.
Jeff
Gerstmann, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Rich.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
it's good
just
to be back in the saddle here.
It's great to be here. You know, lots of games coming out, lots of reviews, lots of crazy action here at the GameSpot office.
And of course, joining us today, Carrie Gooskos, Jason Ocampo. Jason's just here for a little bit. Carrie's here for the whole show. How you doing, everyone?
Good, good. I'm watching Jason play Black and White 2. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah?
I'm playing Black and White 2. It's like, no complaints, man.
Jason, your review just went up for Black and White 2.
Yes.
We're going to hear your final verdict in just a few minutes, but not yet. And Carrie later on will be playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, right, Carrie?
I don't object.
Sure. All right, then. Also, there's a big event that just happened this week, Jeff, over in Europe. What is it?
That's XO5.
What's that?
That is Microsoft's annual event, though this is the only year they're calling it XO5, obviously, where they're showing off a lot of Xbox 360 stuff. And, you know, some guys just came off the plane. Of course, they've long since sent their stuff back via the internet. And we have some trailers and some other stuff from XO5 coming up on the show, too.
And a whole bunch of information we will share that we learned.
Oh, yeah.
But not yet. As always, of course, GameSpot Complete members, although the site has been redesigned, your box is still at the bottom of the page where you can fill out your questions, give us your name, where you're at, and ask us questions about XO5 or any of the 5 demos we have on the show today. Blitz the League, Black and White 2, Battlefront 2, Phoenix Wright, and Doom 3.
Them some demos.
That's a lot of demos. I want some Blitz questions, by the way. Send your Blitz questions, because that's going to be the first demo we have, and we're kind of short right now. So hook us up. But keep them coming. All show long, we'll answer them. Yeah. Right now, Jeff, you said there have been a lot of games mentioned at XO5. There
have been.
What are some of the highlights?
Well, I mean, let's see. I mean, there's been some new announcements. They confirmed Splinter Cell 4 will be coming to the Xbox 360. They talked about some of the EA stuff that's also going to be coming out. They finally actually officially confirmed that a Burnout Revenge series game is going to be coming out for the Xbox 360, which is one of the most exciting things I thought came out of the show. It sounds like they're going to be updating the game somehow, because otherwise they would have just said, we're doing Burnout Revenge for the 360. Instead, they said, continuation of the Burnout Revenge series. So,
that's good.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Cool. Yeah. And another one of the games that we got to see more of, a little bit more of, that we've heard about for some time now, that's Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears of War.
Gears of War?
Gears of War is from Epic. It's their big game. It's one that has a whole lot of people talking, even though it's not going to come out anytime soon. It's a pretty big action game, and people are definitely looking forward to it.
Cool. And we actually have a short clip here from XO5.
Whoa.
It's all like 50 seconds long of action. It's true.
All right.
Yeah. Check it out.
Let's see it.
That is one intense dude right there.
That guy, do not mess with that guy.
No.
Do not get in the way of his coffee. Do not stand in the way.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, that looks really good, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of indicative of what we have been seeing so far up to this point of Xbox 360 games. Like, that dude looks hard. He is shooting a cool-looking gun with cool-looking flames coming out.
Yeah.
But what is he shooting?
Well, yeah, what's he shooting
going
at?
on?
Why does it look
Yeah.
so much like Kill Switch with him doing the blind fire thing?
Exactly. I don't mind. That's a good
Yeah,
move.
that's cool.
That's the best part to come out of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
it's only a matter of time before someone else uses it.
fortunately, though, out of XO5, we have a lot of actual direct gameplay
Yeah.
of someone playing the game. We have a lot of developer interviews.
It was one of the first times we've gotten to play Madden, so we have reports on that and a lot of other stuff.
We're actually
so.
showing part of the Madden interview later in the show.
Really?
Why you got to tip the hand?
Why, hey, man, you tipped the hand. I just said, hey, Madden.
All right, fine. We're showing the Madden interview part of it later on the show, hand tipped. But right now,
Way to
speaking
go.
of football, Jeff,
Yeah,
there's another football game yet to hit the scene.
that's right.
We've been very excited about it for quite some time. The Midway brought it to the stage at E3, and that game is, of course,
Blitz the League. Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Well, Blitz the League is basically picking up from where the NFL Blitz series left off. And that was Midway's popular arcade football game. That kind of, it transitioned to the home consoles and didn't really have the same kind of steam that it had in the arcades. They did Blitz Pro a couple years back, which was not a good game.
No.
So they have ditched the NFL license and kind of made this really extreme, and I don't mean like Mountain Dew sky surfing extreme, I mean like extremely crazy take of real life football.
Why don't you fire up the game
All
and
right.
find us some extreme examples?
So here I am kicking off. That's a pretty extreme, different kick meter there. You got to tap the buttons out.
As a column there, XBB.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now, is the game 11 on 11?
No, it is not. You don't get, I believe it's 8 on 8, but hey, I haven't counted, man.
Okay.
But it's basically focused on reducing football down to its most basic elements. And as a result, it's like play calling, pretty simplified. And then the action is really focused on just breaking dudes. I'm on defense right now, so I really want to try and use the dirty hit command, which is more apt to cause fumbles and, of course, more apt to cause injuries, which are really fantastic looking.
Now, before we go any further, we got to put out the quick disclaimer. This is definitely an M-rated game.
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
if you are the kind of person who has people around you who will be upset if you're being exposed to an M-rated game, stop exposing yourself to the game right now.
Put your pants back on.
That's all I meant.
17 and under, right?
Yes. But so I keep seeing you drop down into the blue like that, like some sort of bullet time. What's going on there?
When you're on offense, you can use what's called Clash, and basically that's what drops the game into slow motion. And when you're in Clash time, you can execute moves, just with more skill. Your quarterback is more apt to kind of block tackles or roll out of them. Your ball carriers won't get knocked over. Yeah, so I stuffed that fool.
Nice.
So now they're going to kick. And I'll be able to get the ball back and
Cool.
do some of the Clash.
He is upset.
On defense, you use Clash to execute the dirty hits, and by doing the dirty hits, you earn more Clash. So it's kind of
Okay.
this.
So this is the meter at the top of the screen?
Yeah.
And what are those little red circles underneath the meter?
Now, what those are is every time you do like a Clash move, you get a Clash icon, and that goes into that little meter there.
That was a
And
horrible
that was a
kick.
pretty bad kick.
That's awful.
And when you get that full, then you can do an unleash move, and these are basically just beyond the Clash moves. It's basically makes it so you can't be intercepted when you're throwing unleash passes. Unleash tackles are even more likely to just break bones and cause fumbles and all kinds of stuff like that. So let's roll out here and drop it a Clash,
All
throw the
kinds of
pass. I can't. Oh, got it.
Nice.
A little time to taunt here.
Oh,
So by taunting there, I earned another Clash icon. So
Right.
you kind of want to play that risk versus reward style of game where you can really kind of rack up those things because it's really easy to score a touchdown once you've got that unleash meter full.
sure. Sounds good. Now, these plays you're calling right now, are these like new plays to the Blitz?
Yeah, they are.
franchise?
These are plays. They haven't really carried over any of the plays from previous Blitz games. But the plays are really easy to understand. I mean, they very clearly understand that, like, a good portion of the people that play the Blitz games might not understand, like, a traditional football lineup and what all that stuff means. So they really go out of their way to make that stuff really simple for people.
Cool. Now, right now, you are playing as who and against who?
I'm the New York Nightmare.
you're not.
I'm
Detroit Devils, dude.
I'm the Detroit Devils, right. Sorry. The Detroit Devils. Basically, since it's not licensed, they've gone and made up all their own teams. which these are actually pretty cool fake teams. I mean, I'm always excited to see fake sports teams in like movies and all this other stuff because I think it's like a really funny opportunity for people to come up with really crazy stuff.
And they've gone all out with that. There's all the logos. There's like a web page with like a 100-year history of the football.
Yeah,
league.
they're treating it like it's a licensed game, even though they made up the license themselves. And I'm playing against the San Francisco Stranglers, which is actually the team that I made for the story mode.
That's a great team name.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And because they're a created team and I haven't played through the story mode very much, I'm crushing them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a way to beat up on yourself like that. Now, we just saw something that said one more dirty hit to brawl. Can you tell us what's going on with that and maybe make it happen?
We'll see. Basically, you know, tempers flare as more and more dirty hits come out. And remember in the old Blitz games, you used to be able to like just dive on people after a play?
Oh, yeah, that's so much fun.
They've limited that now to where it basically only happens when these tempers flare up. But when it does happen, it's like basically both teams going at it, diving on each other for a good 20 seconds or so.
Oh. Now they're going to kick. We're not going to get a chance to see it. That's all right. I'm going to ask you some questions from our viewers. All right, cool. This is from Justin Eckloff in Bath, Pennsylvania. I was a big fan of the Blitz for the PlayStation. Does it still have the same fast-paced, fun gameplay as the first?
It really does. That's kind of the thing that stood out to me. I mean, writing the preview for the game and playing it, is that it really does have a lot of what made the Blitz games great. And then they've added all this Clash and Unleash and all this other stuff on top of it. So it's like they've made the game more complex, but not at the expense of that fast action. So now my Unleash meter's full, and I'm going to try and throw a Hail Mary pass because it's these catches are almost guaranteed. Not
almost
quite.
Guaranteed?
Yeah, it's
cool.
not quite like NFL or NBA Street game breaker type stuff. But so now that pass goes out a little differently, and I see you get a little cash animation there.
Oh, you
but he's going to run out. Man.
Weak.
But made the catch.
It was a great catch.
Yeah.
Good job. Dave from Cleveland, Ohio. Do you think NFL Blitz is a game that can last, or is it just a gimmick type deal where after a couple games you basically have experienced everything there is to offer?
You know, I haven't played a ton of it, you know, just from writing a preview, but I mean, it definitely seems like it's a lot of fun. It's a very good two-player game, and of course it is online on both PS2 and Xbox, so there's definitely some competition to be had there as well. The story mode, you know, that's the sort of thing you'll probably end up like playing once, maybe twice. But you can also create your team and boost your stats and all that stuff, so there's some action there as well. But just the simple act of playing football does seem pretty exciting. Cool.
Are there any online modes?
Yeah, there is. It's basically just one-on-one gameplay, but they do have a lot of other stuff like in there with scoreboards, and also you're earning or risking money. You can bet on your games.
Oh, really?
And it actually will put up a point spread that you'll have to cover or or whatever to win the bet.
Not bad. And John Latour from New York wants to know how many body parts you can break. I've actually been buying time so you score all these touchdowns.
Oh, let's see.
So you can show us like the head crackiness, neck crackiness,
skull crackiness, bone crushingest. I've seen necks, I've seen spines. You can tear ligaments and stuff like that. So there, I made the 2 point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of different body parts go.
I've seen a shoulder, I've seen an arm, seen a leg.
Yeah, arms, legs, shoulders. And when you get injured in a game, you can actually choose one of two ways to treat your players. The safe way would be to just treat them, like you would, take them to the doctor, do whatever it is that football players do when they're hurt. But if you do that, they might be out for 3 quarters, they might be out for 3 weeks. Who wants to put up with that mess, right?
3 weeks without your star player?
Exactly.
That's lame.
So that's where the juice comes in.
Okay, you mean like orange juice?
Yeah, like steroids, bro, or like drugs, basically. You can choose to dope up your player to get them back on the field faster. It lowers their stamina, makes them more likely to fumble and stuff like that. But that's again risk versus reward.
This is your last shot to injure someone right here.
All right,
make it happen.
We'll see.
Make it happen.
Well, I did a dirty hit, but
tempers flare. All right, I'll give you one more hit. Now, I just want to explain one more thing for our director, Tim Tracy, because he is a Giants fan. In the story mode, you can buy things to upgrade your team.
Yes.
One of them is flaxseed oil, and one of them is flaxseed oil in quotes.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
One is an illegal substance and one is not. So yeah, when you go to train your players, you can do some different stuff. You can put them on the legal stuff, or you can give them a cycle of the juice, and then there's different stuff, shots of various substances. And then there's one, that just says flaxseed oil.
Right.
So
makes old players move fast.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, it's an M-rated game, and they've got all this this different kind of adult themed stuff going on. They definitely have a sense of humor about it as well, which I think is a good balance, because otherwise it probably would get into that whole Mountain Dew Sky Surfer territory.
Yeah.
And no one likes that.
So so you have a preview up for this game on the site right now?
Yes, we do.
What platforms is it coming out for, and when is it coming out?
It is PlayStation 2 and Xbox. It is shipping the week of the 17th, so this month. The game's gone gold. It'll be out soon, and we'll have a review right around then.
Great. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem.
We're going to keep you around. We're going to have you play some Doom later on. But right now, I want to send it over to Carrie and Jason, who've been waiting patiently to show us Black and White 2. Jason's had it on the show before. This is his chance to give us his final verdict on the review and show us some more stuff on the game. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Rich. So, Jason, got you here. You just reviewed Black and White 2.
Yes, I did.
Want to go ahead and tell me what score you gave it? We're going to spoil it right now.
I gave it an 8.2. It's a very good game. In a way, it improves on the original, but it depends on how you felt about the original game, which a lot of people, you either really love Black and White 2 or you're very disappointed in Black and White 2.
Right.
And they've tried to swing the pendulum the other way now. So they put in more of a game. So if you wanted more of a game, you've got it in Black and White 2. But if you love just the slow nature of the original, you'll discover that this is more of a story-driven RTS.
So now when you say more of a game, can you sort of explain, you sort of said they focused it a little bit from Black and White.
Yeah, the first Black and White, you were a god for these people, and you kind of just did nice things, and they grew slowly and such. But, it kind of felt lackadaisical. In this one, right off the get-go, they give you a very visible enemy to go after for the rest of the game, and you want revenge, basically. Okay. So what you're doing is you're training your people up so they can go conquer other people, so they can work their way up to the big kahuna and take them down. And so most of the game is basically about conquering lands. Here's one of them. Mm-hmm. And you start off in a small little town, like in the corner here, and you basically want to conquer the entire land. And you do that one of two ways. You can create this very beautiful, dazzling city that will cause all the other people living in these small towns to go, hey, those guys are great, let's join them. And they leave and they join your population, and your city becomes bigger. And eventually, if you do that, you can take over the entire land. Or else you can create a huge city like this with hundreds of people in it, and you can enlist a gigantic army, like I've got about 100 or so swordsmen just sitting around here, nice. And you let them loose. So I'll open up the gates and I'll tell these guys to start running toward the enemy city.
Yeah, so who are you fighting in this?
These are the Japanese, I believe, and it takes place in a fantasy realm, so it's not any relation to it's not Japan we're fighting in, but
these are non-Japanese.
Non-Japanese Japanese.
That's
exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's going on over here? I see you've got your creature out.
Yeah, the creature was one of the great aspects of the first game. It's kind of like this virtual pet. It's you train, and here's my creature's the wolf on the right.
He's a little bit sore, he says.
He's a bit sore. Yeah, he's taking a beating, but there he goes. He just drop kicked the Japanese tiger, and he's doing his little victory dance because he just And here's a nice thing. I've trained my creature. The creature can be good or evil. You train it, and I've trained my creature basically to be the ultimate army destroyer.
No, but wait, you said you were making a good god, right?
That's the thing though. The game, you can be good, you can be evil, you can be good and evil. A shade of gray. So I'm generally a good god, but I have no mercy for my enemies. And as you can see, my creature just did like the Emperor Jedi trick from Return of the Jedi. He electrocuted that enemy squad, and he does things like that. He'll just pick up this rock, and I think there he goes. He's throwing it at those guys, and he'll stomp on them. He throws fireballs around. He tears down walls. He's like the ultimate military unit in the game.
So what do you do differently with your creature in this game from, say, like the first one?
Yeah, well, you're still training the creature, and the creature is this AI, so it learns, and it creates this. It gets a behavior. Like it wants to explore the world, and it wants to do things, and you can like tell it, hey, look, if it's thinking, what's it thinking right now? If I rub it, he's thinking, I'll attack enemy soldiers pretty much whenever I see them, and I like that behavior, so I'll pet him, and I'll encourage it, like okay. But if I don't want him, if I want to be a good creature, I'll tell him, don't do that, and I'll just slap him around, and he's getting beat up, but
I see. His
that
message is changing.
Now he's saying, I'll rarely attack enemy soldiers, and so you can train your creature to kind of do whatever you want, and it's fun to just let it loose sometimes because the creature just goes around and it's like a puppy. You let it out in the world and it just trying to figure out things on its own. It has this weird fascination with wanting to poo on people, so you can either encourage it or you can punish it.
Let me guess that you've encouraged that.
I haven't discouraged it, if that's the
okay.
word you're thinking of. It sometimes, it might want to eat people. It might want to pet them. It might want to play with them. I've seen it pick up people and use them as weights to work out, and then it moves its way up to trees. It'll rip out a tree and such. And now he's hungry, so he's thinking, hey, those guys look pretty good over there.
So I was going to ask you if you killed the other creature, but it looks like he just disappeared.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
The deal is, the creature kind of gets defeated, but he'll resurrect back at the base after a few minutes. So even your creature will die probably throughout the course of the game, but he's not permanently dead. He'll come back because in a way he's your avatar. He's your animal enforcer in the game. So he comes back, and here he's picked up a tree and he's just going to use it to club these guys on the ground, and that's fun. And you can reinforce him. I've got this big army over here, and they will go start marching off toward there. And you can see the scale of the game is very impressive. I've got hundreds of, this is a platoon of swordsmen, and there's actually, I think, about 100 of these guys. You can create platoons of, 200 more, and you can have more than one platoon. So, you can throw thousands of guys at the enemy if you can.
We got a question here from Justin Eckloff. He wants to know how many creatures there are. There were 3 in the original, right?
There are 4 you can choose in the game. I mean, the enemies get their own creatures, but you can choose between an ape, a lion, a cow, and the wolf. And the cow's the cutest one, but
Is there any difference between how they behave?
In a way, they might have some different behaviors and such. The cow generally kind of peaceful right off the bat. The wolf and such. It's mainly, I think, aesthetics, because you can train your creature to be whatever you want. So you can train a cow to be a man-eater, and you can train the wolf to be a vegetarian. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so it doesn't really have any particular impact. Another question here from Sven Lee from Miami. Is it possible to take your creature online? Is there any online component to this game?
That's something that they talked about for the first game, was you'd have this virtual pet and you'd take it online. It still hasn't really, come about. And it's actually one of the very fascinating aspects that I wish that they'd follow up, because it's an interesting idea, is that you get these very sophisticated AI, and then you put them in a world and let them interact with each other to see what happens. But that hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened at all?
No.
Okay.
So this game, no multiplayer.
So, all right, totally here.
No
about how much time? How long is it? You said
it's a long
lands.
game. I mean, each land. I spend about 4 or 5 hours on some lands, because it's. I think if there's one thing, it's a bit of it's a slow game still in a way, and so you'll spend a lot of time on each land just building up a city and conquering all the other towns. So it's easily at least 20 hours, just depending on how you play. I think for most people it'd be about 20 hours or more.
Great. And so how much would you say the creature plays into how much of the game is the creature? There's a lot of focus right now, but it isn't really the focus of the game.
It is. The focus of the game is mainly in city building.
Okay.
And in a way, it's a very cool game in that way. I mean, if I want to build this city and I just pick up a building and I place it down and it will be built.
Did you put all these buildings here?
Yes, I laid it out, and it's a very, and you spend a lot of time doing this, because if you want to create, be the peaceful god, you got to create a very nice city with a lot of different buildings and such. And if you want to be the war god, you still need a big city so you can have a big population, so you can have a big army. But a lot of it is city building and city management. But at the end of the game, though, at the end of a level, you might have to go engage in combat. If you might do that a lot if you're the war god. And so you'll spend some time in battle. The creature really cuts down on that, though, because the creature is like the Uber unit. He's capable of knocking down walls and opening up gates and just pretty much stomping anything that comes his way.
That's really cool. It's really cool. So that review is up on the site right now.
Yes, it is.
People can read your review. They can see your score. They can check out movies, screenshots, the whole shebang. Something else pretty exciting is I think we have another trailer coming up from XO5. Is that right?
Sure is, Carrie.
It's Project Gotham, right?
It is, Carrie. Do you want me to toss to it, or
look, I can toss to it. You can toss to it.
I'm gonna do it.
You go for it, man.
You threw it over me. I'm gonna keep it, Bob. You stay right there. Don't say anything. All right. But the guy, as Jeff said, we got guys who just stepped off the plane, and they said this is one of the 3 top games that they saw at XO5, and that game is Project Gotham Racing 3. Check it out. that was Project Gotham Racing 3. Looks pretty good. There's more about that game on the site right now. But right now, we have Bob Kaleko here. Hello, Bob.
How's it going, Rich?
It's going well. Welcome back to the set. It's always good to have you here.
I'm always happy to be here.
And what game have you brought to show off today?
I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2.
No way.
No way.
Way.
For real.
For real.
I'm not messing with you, man. I'm not playing here. All right.
Now, Star Wars Battlefront 2, obviously the sequel to Star Wars Battlefront, the multiplayer online Star Wars game. You
That's
got to
correct.
be Ewoks, you got to be droids, you got to be
Gungans
troopers, you got to be
Exactly.
Jar Jar, you got to be everything.
You got to drive stuff too.
Exactly.
Got vehicles.
So fire up Star Wars Battlefront 2 and tell us what's new in the game this time around.
All right. One of the more exciting things that we have in the game are playable Jedi. I've loaded up a one flag CTF map, and that's another new mode, I believe. So yeah, you've got playable Jedi in multiplayer.
That's cool.
And
you're not telling me you're a Jedi droid right now.
No, this is not a Jedi droid. I'm just running out because you don't get the Jedi right away.
Okay.
The server settings determine when those things spawn in, but I've set it so that as soon as I get one kill, I get to bring in someone. Or I should have got. Maybe someone stole my kill.
Maybe
I got to kill something else.
So I'm guessing since it is a multiplayer game that one thing that you like to see with a new game, when a multiplayer game comes out of the sequel, is that they let more people play it.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, on the PS2 version, you're going to be able to play 24 players online.
Cool.
And but the Xbox is still going to be 32.
Nice.
And the PC should have 64. They're claiming.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's going to be some crazy matches. So yeah.
And I'm guessing there are also new levels like this one right now. Looks like the.
There we go. So see, sorry to cut you off there,
okay,
but
fine. Go ahead, dude.
Now I get to spawn in as General Grievous.
Oh, dope.
Look at this. So now it's time to wreck stuff. Now it is time to wreck stuff. Basically, when you have the Jedi in there, you basically just touch people with your lightsaber and they go down.
Nice. I'm
running back in my base. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going. Here's someone to kill.
Nice.
And he's just there. He's owned. I just took him out. Oh, Yoda's chasing me around. I gotta take him
Yoda's
out.
in the game.
Yeah, they spawned Yoda in. Oh, he took me out. Oh, man.
Nice.
All right.
Do you have to stay as Grievous, or you have to?
No, I gotta wait now. I gotta wait to come back in as him.
So is this the kind of thing that we can have like 20 Grievouses, Grievi?
No, there's only one per side. So when the thing spawns in, it usually goes to the best player, or depending on what the server settings are, it might assign it to the worst player. And you gotta deal with that Jedi when he's around. It's possible for a regular droid or trooper to take out the Jedi, but it takes a lot of shooting to get rid of him.
So what are the? All right, now let's go back to my earlier. Oh, look, someone's got the flag right there.
Yeah, that's my guy with the flag.
Cool.
Now they got the flag.
Oh, Yoda's got it, dude. You're done.
Where'd he go?
I don't even know. All right, so tell us about what are the different sides and what are the levels in the game.
The sides should be the same as the last time. Here we're in the Clone Wars era, so I'm playing as the Separatist droids against the Federation and the clone army. So you've got this era, and you've also got the old school era with the rebels against the Empire.
Is it hard to hop out and show us that?
No, I can do that.
Do that.
Actually, and I'll show you the space mode at the same time.
Oh, that'd be perfect. So what is the space mode?
There's the new space assault mode. And basically, you've got two capital ships that going up against each other, and they're fighters that you can drive and fly out of the capital ships, and then you just go and you start bombing on the other, like the Imperial Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's cool.
So let's do this.
Let's do it.
Wait, I got to find one that's. There we go.
Galactic Civil War.
That's one we want.
That's what we're looking for. That is the correct era of Star Wars. All right, let's find some questions for you, shall we? This is from Caleb in Brandon, Florida. Is Battlefront going to be co-op, or is there only multiplayer?
There should be a way to play the campaign cooperatively. I'm pretty sure that was a feature in the last time, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't get a chance to try all that out, but I would expect that there is a way to do that.
We'll find out more when the game is closer to releasing.
Right.
All right, this is from Hussein in Ontario. Will the single player actually have a storyline this time, or will it be like Battlefront 1? Did you know that much, or should I stop asking questions about the single player?
There will be some. It'll be pretty similar to the original game, where you're just kind of playing through mission after mission.
Right.
You do get some cutscene action,
I mean, who gets tired of like blowing up the Death Star?
Yeah, I mean,
If- I don't know if
what
that's in the game.
story do you need? I mean, the story's contained within each map.
Right.
You know, like when you're on Hoth, it's about the walkers going in. Now I'm totally lost. I can't find the hangar.
Oh, dude. Are you
Yeah,
Wedge
let's see.
Antilles right here, or are you just generic guy?
I'm just generic pilot. There's the hangar.
Oh, okay,
All right,
that's
so
what's
we're
up.
going to go out. So that's the neat thing also about this mode is that you can actually fly into the
I'll
other
let you
capital
take your
ship.
X-Wing.
No, I took it. I'll just take this A-wing right
Okay.
here. Just hop in.
So you can actually fly into the capital ship, you're saying?
Yeah,
and
you can
then
fly in
run
an
around
enemy
and-
capital ship, hop out, and start wrecking stuff from the inside out. So there, you can see there's the Imperial Star Destroyer out there. Here's, our Star Cruiser over here.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, exactly. So, now I'm just going to start chasing stuff around and shooting stuff down.
So if you want to, you could try to land this A-Wing on the Star Destroyer.
I could. Here, you want me to try it?
Yeah.
I've got. See, the problem with the A-wing is that it doesn't have much armor.
Right.
So, I might get shot by a turret on my way in, but we'll give it a shot. And I think
You do that, I'm going to keep
the
firing
garage
questions
is
at
on
you.
the other side. So we'll come around.
All right,
Any
we
questions?
got several questions here. We got one from Zach, one from Sean. They want to know who are the Jedis, who are the signature characters in the game.
Right. Well, you saw General Grievous and you saw Yoda.
Yes.
And
Tell me Boba Fett's in the game, dude.
he is.
Yes!
You can play as Boba Fett, and he can just wreck stuff
Amazing.
with his missile launcher. And
Boba Fett's not a Jedi, dude.
he's
Whatever.
not a Jedi.
That's
He's
why I
a
said
hero. They
signature
call him
character.
hero characters. So
Nice.
so now I'm on the other ship, except I'm just a pilot.
Can you jack a TIE fighter?
I
too much
think
ask
so.
for?
Here, let's
Try
try
it.
it. If I don't get shot up.
Interceptor.
But,
Yes.
there we go.
Oh, that's cool.
There, I just stole a TIE fighter.
Nice. Now they won't shoot at you. That you have them totally fooled.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
never
no.
guess.
All right. Who else is there? I'm guessing Luke.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker. You got Darth Vader. There's
Solo.
also the Emperor,
Oh, nice. Which era of the Emperor?
the old school one.
Nice.
And
Extra wrinkled.
and I believe there's also Mace Windu. Just basically, there's tons and tons of Jedis and other heroes that you get to play as, and it's real exciting stuff. And they're really powerful and easy to use.
Cool.
And, yeah.
When's this game coming out?
This game is coming out at the same time as the Episode 3 DVD, which should be the first week of November.
Ah,
So,
very cool.
I just wrecked myself on that type.
Whatever.
But
Nice. Nicely done.
anyway, that's the game. There's a
PC,
lot of new
PS2,
stuff.
Xbox.
That's correct.
Good. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks a lot, Rich.
Appreciate it. Right
Thanks for
now,
having me.
though, we're going to send it away from us. Unfortunately, we're going to kick Bob out of here.
man.
And we're going to send it on over to Jeff and Carrie. Carrie's standing by with one of our favorite games from E3. What game is it, Carrie?
It's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. It's for the DS. It is a port of a Game Boy Advance game that never made it over to the States. And it's got another extra chapter, and it's also been converted to the DS, so it has a lot of DS functionality.
Now that functionality includes the microphone, right?
Yes, it includes the microphone,
I
and we
think
will get
one
to
of
the
one of
microphone.
my first questions about the game, and let's just get right into the questions that people sent in. We have here from Joey in Honolulu. No, I'm sorry, from Billy in Opelika, Florida. Do you get to yell anything besides objection into the DS?
You do. You do. You get to shout a couple things. There's actually 3 things that you can shout, and I'll show you in just a
Yeah. So
hot
I mean,
flash.
how does the game work overall? I mean, you played Phoenix Wright, obviously. But
So you play as Phoenix Wright. He's like a budding attorney, and the way that it works is you play both in the courtroom and outside of the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
You get to talk to witnesses, you talk to other lawyers, you investigate crime scenes, and you find evidence, and then eventually you take it to the courtroom, where you have witnesses go up on the stand. Right now we have a witness giving their testimony.
Uh-huh.
And you have witnesses go up on the stand and they give a testimony. And sort of generally, and this isn't really a spoiler, but sort of generally the witness is always kind of lying or something. So the objective is for you to find some kind of discrepancy in the testimony. And it's an adventure game, so there's actually quite a lot of text. And I'm going to try to skip through this. So this guy has sort of gotten up on the stand. And one of the things that happens during the testimony is you'll get pieces of evidence, they'll come, and they'll go into this thing called the court record. So you get the court record in here, and you have all these pieces of evidence, and they each have little descriptions. And let me go into the court record right here. So you have some evidence here, and it has a little description, and it's sort of telling, like, what it's going to tell you about it. Like, if there's a time on it, like, this
Yeah.
happened at a certain time, or, you know, this was used only once or something like that, that's something you want to keep an eye out for, because
in case the testimony says, oh, but this was used twice at this time, and then you know that.
Exactly. So I just got a blackout record for the time of this crime. It's put into my inventory. And what's kind of cool is that they go over a course of several days. So you'll get something, and you might not use it the first day. So you might forget about it. So it's a good idea to keep a close watch on the court record and like keep remembering what it is that you have. As this is the first trial right here, so this woman is helping me out. So I'm going to get right into the cross-examination, which is sort of where the bulk of the cool stuff is.
Cool.
So when you do a cross-examination, there's sort of two ways. What he'll do is he'll repeat the witness testimony line by line. So you scroll through it, and you can do one of two things. You can press the witness, which means to like sort of question them on their language. And that's what you do if you can't really find something wrong with it. So right now, I'm going to press the witness, and I'm going to go, hold it. Oh, and it didn't work. Let me try it again. Hold it. So I screamed, hold it, and Phoenix Wright sort of questions him on that exact specific line of testimony.
Okay.
So there's something in place to prevent you from sort of doing that all the time, because you won't always get somewhere with this line of testimony. This one has a little bit of dialogue, but sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Like Phoenix Wright will be like, I have a problem with what you said, and the judge says, what is it? And he goes, I don't know. And so then you sort of made a little blunder. And if you do something particularly offensive, you see those exclamation points on the top of the screen. So if you do something particularly offensive, the judge will take away a point. And after you lose all your points, then that's it.
Held in contempt,
Trial's
slapped
over.
around, all kinds of horrible stuff.
So now, another thing that I can do is the shouting objection. And I'm going to go right to what I happen to know is the objectable sentence, because I haven't actually been reading the text. There is a lot of text in this game, too. This is an adventure game straight up and down, so there's going to be a lot of text. So this witness says he saw this event happen at 1 p.m., but we see from the autopsy that she died between 4 and 5. So, objection! And there it goes.
Not just an objection, anime objection!
It's really cool style. I don't actually watch anime, but I really love the style. The characters are all really over the top.
Yeah.
And Phoenix Wright is so lovable because he's so, in the beginning, he's just so pathetic, and he's no idea what's going on, and it's just sort of, you really want to like get him going as a really good lawyer. And what's cool is watching him grow from this, sort of horrible little budding attorney who needs all this help to he gets really forceful as you get through the missions, and
so he becomes
really
a
gets
jerk like every other lawyer.
Exactly.
So how many cases are there in the game?
There are 5. There were 4 in the original Game Boy Advance version. They added a 5th one into this one.
Cool.
And so they added all this little functionality. Now a lot of it, you spend a lot of the game scrolling through text. I'm sure you've seen, like I've been scrolling through a whole bunch of text.
Yeah.
So, but and then also the music is really cool. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's sort of victorious, happy music when he like discovers
like you called
something.
him on the lie, way to go.
Right, or when the testimony, when the witness is particularly come up with a really hard testimony to crack, the music gets really sincere and like mean, and it's just been really entertaining so far.
So let's compare it to an episode of Law and Order, which is better from what you've seen so far.
Are we talking about SVU with Christopher Maloney?
I'm talking regular Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Law and Order proper.
You know what? I would just like to see Law and Order done in this style. I think people would really get it. Because there is both, you do go outside of the courtroom, you do get to examine. So I would love to see Law and Order done in this style.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
This just in from Michael Pritchett in Winchester, Kentucky.
Okay.
How will the jury work? Is there a jury in this game?
There is a jury. The jury is really... It's sort of superfluous. Basically what happens is when you come across something good or bad, you sort of pans out to a view of the whole courtroom, and the jury's kind of like, oh, you see them all shaking their heads, or ooh, but they're not really like a part of it. The law in here isn't so great. Like the law is not exactly the law, but it's entertaining and it works for the game. So
you're saying Phoenix Wright versus Sam Waterston? What are you saying? I mean.
You know what? It would be really great to see him do this game. Phoenix Wright loses just because he doesn't have the coolness factor.
Yeah.
But Sam Waterston doesn't have his own game, so.
That's true.
What about
maybe someday?
What about like Phoenix Wright versus like that blonde assistant DA that was only on the show recently and just left?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Phoenix Wright could probably
Phoenix
take
Wright,
her out.
yeah.
She's always cutting corners. Let's get some questions here. Go back to Joey here from Honolulu. Johnny. In Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, do you explore outside of the courtroom, and if so, how does that work? Does it pretty much just guide you around the different bits of evidence that you'll need? Or
well, no. I mean, what you do is you do actually quite a bit outside of the courtroom, and it's just like any other adventure game where you like click on move and you'll like move to a different location. Except for when you get to that location, then you can sort of examine and use the DS stylus to sort of move around and like check what's going on, and then you find pieces of evidence that you put into your own. Now, I mean, the law isn't, I don't believe this is how the law works, but you can actually find evidence in the scene of the crime and like put it into your own court record and then like whip it out at trial, and the other lawyer might not know about it, and you're like, but I have these, you know.
Maybe that flies in Japan or something.
Well, it's actually really entertaining. We have an interview on the site with the producer of someone from Japan. He was saying that one of the reasons it hadn't brought over earlier was because law was so different in Japan. They weren't sure that it would translate. But then he's quick to say that this game still doesn't represent law in Japan, which is good because, like, in one scenario here, the other attorney like sets up a little bribe, like, hey, how about this? How about you know, do this for me? And
that happens. That has to happen in real life because it's on Law and Order every week. It's like we're cut a deal for Man 2 and 5 years and no jail time. Come on.
This is really this could be so easily done with the Law and Order franchise. So hopefully it will.
I have one last question. Actually, let's close it out with this one right here. It's from Stephen P. in Ocala, Florida. Do you play as a prosecuting or defense attorney, and are you ever on like the wrong side of justice? Are you representing the wrong man?
No, you're always on the right side of justice, at least as far as like the sort of the scenario going on. You're always sort of helping the underdog, and the opposing attorney is always this just huge jerk. There's a couple different ones, but you are the, hold on, I have to think about it. You're going for not guilty, so you are the defense attorney, right? Yeah. So yeah, you play the defense attorney.
Defender.
The defender.
A public defender or just a defender?
A private defender, because you have your own law firm and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
It's good, and also it's just you don't have to shout into the microphone.
Oh, so you can do button presses.
You can do a button press, but like, why would you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they put the microphone on the DS for a reason, and that's for you to look like a fool on the bus.
Objection.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So when's this game coming out?
This game's actually coming out next week.
Wow. Okay.
And we have a review coming up next week for it. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So everyone, be on the lookout for Phoenix Wright, and rolling out right now. We've got that Madden interview that Rich was talking about earlier, that hand tipper. Let's check it out. Madden for the Xbox 360.
So I'm over here at the EA side of where they got the Xbox 360 action. I'm here with my man Chris Herb. What's up, Chris?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. So tell the folks at home what game you're working on here.
So I'm Chris Herb. I'm the senior product manager for Madden NFL 06 for the Xbox 360.
And we have it right here, correct?
We do.
What are we taking a look at today?
So this is kind of the first time we've actually showed the software to people live out here in Amsterdam. We're really excited to be here. It's kind of the next generation of sports gaming, we're kind of calling it. So you want to jump on or you want to play?
Yeah,
hop on. So the first thing you'll notice right off the bat is the presentation's a little bit different. You know, the graphics look great, but it's about how it plays both on the field like you are, and how you're gonna play while you're off the field as well. So you know, you see some of the beauty shots here. The first thing you're gonna notice is you've got different ways to call. So you've got 6 different ways to call your offensive plays now. No more is it just by formation. You can go in, you can go down, slide down to key player, come down to key player, hit A. Now you can call it by player if you want. So, you know, Hines Ward, you really want to go to Hines Ward, slide over to Hines Ward, pick him. You're going to see 62 different plays that have Hines Ward in them. So you can flip through those individually or by play. You're going to see 6 on the screen now as opposed to 3 in the past. So, again, giving players more choices and getting to those choices quicker is really important for us.
So what else has the graphic power of the Xbox 360 allowed you guys to do?
There's a ton of things. I mean, if you look at the players are 10 times the quality that they were last year. A lot of depth into a lot of these guys. Oh, it's almost picked off. And the stadiums, I can fly around some of the stadiums. The stadiums are 50 times more detailed than the current gen stuff. Unbelievable. You know, we're in Pittsburgh. You can see the ketchup bottle. You zoom in up there, you can see the little 57 that you have to hit to get the ketchup. Ideas are, we've got the old baseball wall outside in the parking lot where, you know, they used to have their old Pittsburgh stadium. They still have a wall up. We've got the bridges in the background, the city lights. I mean, the stadium, you can see the 3D fans in the background, all 3-dimensional, all animated, getting excited about it.
And that is just a part of the Madden 360 interview that our man Ryan shot on the floor at XO5. Yeah. It's on the site. There's a bunch more of it. Check it out. Hands-on impressions from Brian Eckberg, you said?
Yeah, and you know, with characters from Halo appearing in DOA 4, I have to ask, why isn't John Madden a playable fighter in DOA 4?
He should be.
He totally
He'd
should
be mean.
He would be tough, man.
He could throw people up against the cruiser.
Like there's that one level where cars are always driving by. What if the Madden cruiser just ran dudes down?
That'd be cool.
And then John Madden ate the losing fighter.
Sure.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so you, Jeff, have with you right now the last demo.
Yes.
Of the show.
I'm in possession of the final demo.
5th and final.
Yes.
What's the game?
It is Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil for the Xbox, and basically this is the standalone take on the PC expansion pack that was released. So like Doom 3 came out on the Xbox like 6 months ago,
Right.
and this kind of picks up a couple years after that game left off. You play as a Space Marine, but it's a different Space Marine,
Obviously.
and you get this creepy alien artifact from hell. And
Show us the creepy alien artifact.
All right, we're just
going
gonna
to
get right into this
I
thing.
didn't believe you, and then I saw it. And it's kind
so
of
it's like the game opens with you as this Marine finding this crazy artifact there. Now look at this thing. Look at my hands, man. Look at them freak out. Okay, if one thing for them to start shaking, but now, like, hell is crazy, man. I don't know if you know, but hell messed up. So what I'm doing right here is trying to activate this teleporter so I can get over to the Delta Quadrant. Because basically I'm trying to get rid of this stupid artifact.
Okay.
Picking it up has opened up the portals to hell, demons, that
Let's
whole
stop calling it
thing.
an artifact and let's just call it a heart. Can we
It's
do
a
that?
crazy beating heart, crazy
With a handle?
thing.
Like
yeah,
a grenade pin
It's a
on
heart,
it?
but it's like a mug. Also, it's got like a nice mug handle so you
Okay.
can drink out of it. I don't know. So let me switch back to an actual weapon here.
Oh, regular hands.
Yeah, regular hands instantly.
Yes.
So there's not enough power to run the teleporter, so I'm gonna have to go get on this sky tram and go do this stuff. But I happen to know that there are monsters that want to have their way with me first. So
Sure.
we're gonna have to get this double barrel shotgun out here, and I'm gonna run out here, switch to the artifact, and here we go into hell time, which is like bullet time, but
What?
with hell.
Okay.
I totally knocked that dude down. I'm gonna go. Oh, blast that guy.
So is this what the heart does? Various powers like this, or does it just slow down time,
it slows down time mainly, but over time you actually, as you beat bosses, you kind of earn additional powers for it, and so it starts out with just hell time, and your weapons do more damage in slow motion. Eventually, you get berserk power added on top of that, which makes your fists do a whole lot more damage, and basically punching dudes makes them explode, just like real life. And then you get the third and final power-up very late in the game, and that makes it so when you're in hell time, you're also invincible. The game also has this Half-Life 2 gun, only totally different. It's called the Grabber,
Okay.
and basically you can use it to pick up stuff, but you actually use it in a more combat-oriented way in this game than you use the gravity gun in Half-Life 2. Because you're mainly using it. These guys throw energy balls here. Now, let's see if I can.
Who does?
This guy here. So I can grab it with the grabber, fling it back at him, smoke them.
Nice.
And these guys too. I can give them the business end of the business.
Now another thing you can do. I'm obsessed about the alien heart thing. I just think it's amazing.
It's so crazy
You
looking.
can
know?
eat souls with it.
Yeah. So you're constantly finding all these bodies everywhere because it's Mars. There are dead people on Mars.
Right.
That's pretty much all there is.
Yeah.
Are installations with military functions and dead dudes.
Yeah.
So you can hold up to 3 charges in your crazy alien heart at one time. But here, actually up here, there's going to be a guy who's going to fall through the ground here, and it'll be really spooky. Except I've seen it like 4 times. There. Oh no!
Oh, so you can eat a soul.
Now check this out. I'm pull out my little alien heart thing. Later, bro.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. No proper burial for that dude. No, last rites. Just like, hey, we got your soul now. We're going to use it to shoot demons and slow down time. Pretty wicked, huh? So that's kind of messed up. So I try not to think about it because
Okay.
it's
Think
just
of it
not
as just
nice.
a different form of ammo. Move on.
Right, exactly.
So this game's out now.
This game is out now. It is on store shelves as we speak.
Is there a review?
Yes, we have a review on the site very soon.
Can you say
Later
it?
today.
So we can't tip the hand on.
We
what's
can't tip the hand
no
just yet
tipping.
because you never know.
All right, we'll just take one question on the
Okay.
game. This is from Cassio in Sao Paulo, Brazil. By the way, Dave said I said Ocala wrong from Florida earlier.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But Cassio wants to know, so is this a brand new game or is it actually an expansion?
It stands alone, so you don't need the original Doom 3 to play it.
Okay.
But it is basically just a port of the expansion pack. So it's short, like you would expect an expansion pack to be. 6 to 8 hours your first time through. Not a whole lot of reason to go back through it. But it does have all the old Doom games on the disc. So if you want to play Doom 1 or Doom 2 or Ultimate Doom or the Doom 2 Master levels, all that stuff's right there. And it does have some multiplayer functionality, but you know, Doom 3's strength was never its multiplayer.
Does it have the Doom Simpsons mod? That's what I've.
Unfortunately, no Doom Simpsons mod, no Doom Aliens mod.
Okay.
I know, no one where it replaces all the walls with naked ladies, like I know you like.
I was going to ask about that
Yeah.
one. Let's wrap the show up, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
It's been a good show. I was going to actually mention the winners, but Ryan, unfortunately, didn't get back in time to tell me the answer to the trivia question from last week. So we'll tell you next week who won all
kinds of
Tony
winners
Hawk
next
decks
week.
and the
Yeah.
Call of Duty prizes. We also have right now. I was just going through my stuff on my desk for stuff to give away, and they hooked us up. Folks at EA hooked us up with these 4 demo discs for the PlayStation 2. They have a demo level from Russia with Love, Need for Speed Most Wanted. What else we got?
SSX on Tour.
SSX on Tour. Those are the 3.
Yeah.
3 highly anticipated.
Three
games
pretty big
coming.
games. Yeah.
So,
Cool.
We got a trivia question?
Let's see. Okay, what 3 games are on the PlayStation 2 demo disc?
Fine.
If you can send those in using the form below.
If you're a GameSpot Complete member.
Yeah.
Also tell us, do you believe Barry? Let us know. And include that and the name of these 3 games.
And do you believe in the alien artifact? Do you believe in the sucking of dead human souls with crazy artifact from hell? And what does that feel like? Does it hurt? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, fine. All right. Answer some of that, and
Yeah.
we'll pick 4 of you to win.
But
that.
make sure you put your full-on mailing address and all that stuff in there, because if you don't get that right, where are we going to send the demo disc?
Carrie, how you doing over there?
I'm doing great. I'm still actually playing Phoenix Wright.
Oh, you are?
I'm just having a blast.
Do you have any questions over there about anything in general? Any in your hands? I have
questions?
some.
No, I don't. No, I think we answered all the questions. We always answer all the questions.
All right, I've got questions. I'll just throw them out, and whoever wants to answer them between the 2 of you guys can
let's
arm
do
wrestle.
it. Let's do it.
Sean Shepard, Minnesota. Any chance you guys could give us a live update on how the site enhancements are going? Please, 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 you guys are the best.
They're going good.
Sweet.
They're going great.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
Well, if you're watching right now.
Yeah, exactly. While you're off watching the show,
so.
the site is working crazy well. Of course, we've got that embedded video player right on the homepage, and you can see our little daily video digest right there. And then, of course, the forums coming soon if they're not up already. I know we're working through some of the last stuff to get that stuff up, so that stuff should be back pretty soon.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else from XO5 you want to talk about? Did you see any games?
Ryan just ran off the plane over there, and he ran in here, and first thing he said is, like, Perfect Dark Zero looks awesome, which is cool. That game didn't look so hot the last few times they've been showing it, so to hear that it's coming together, that's good to hear. So
I'm looking for Mass Effect. That's what that's what I've been sort of watching, honing in on.
Ryan actually also told me that he was on the fence about getting one at launch, and now he wants to, correct? Yeah, he totally wants one at launch.
Wow. So I guess my pre-order will not be in vain.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Cool. Am I forgetting anything? Is that a good show?
We had an excellent show.
It's not a good show.
No?
It's a great show.
It's a great show.
All right.
I'd like to thank all of our fabulous crew for doing such a great job. Tim and Roger and Dave and Dino and Jim. I'd like to thank Jeff for stopping by. I'd like to thank Carrie for stopping by. I'd like to thank Bob and Jason for stopping by. What's up?
And Will Savage.
We have to mention Will. You guys got hooked on Will Savage while I was gone? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, Will Savage got hooked on us.
Will Savage has been writing the show forever.
Really?
I'm sorry I didn't point your name out to him.
It's Will with one L, man. Like Will Wheaton, only Savage.
Or Savage.
Straight out of Riverside, fool!
I'd like to thank all of you for watching. As always, I'm Rich Gallup, and we'll see you next week right here on The Spot.